Hello! And today we will be looking at a replay from World Cup of Other Metagames, the second annual World Cup Other Metagames, balanced Hackmons between PinkDragonTamer of US South and Volkner of Canada. So let's look at team preview here. Team preview shows that PDT is running a fairly bulky team. You see Mega Gengar there. I think that's probably the most versatile Mon we have. Well, that and Mewtwo X. Those two are the most versatile Pokemon we have in the metagame right now. You can assume the T-Tar improves the Gengar, and Ho-Oh is it's gotta be like Magic Bounce or something, otherwise they just get hazards up like crazy. Like hazards the ante, and Xerneas would run over this team otherwise, so we assume that's Magic Bounce. For GL Volkner on the other side, he is running Mega Blazecon, which is always a very dangerous threat. He also has a Mega Gengar. If Valtod improved that, which probably means that it is not something with Volt Switch or Ice Beam, so it's probably a choiced set. Unless he's using Chansey to improve it. Could be either one. So, let's get started. So he brings in the T-Tar on the Blazecon, switches out of there as Blazecon sets up webs, and Zygarde tries and hits it with 1,000 waves but misses. This is all pretty standard stuff. He expects to bring in... Oop. It got ahead of me. I'm gonna go back to turn 3. And so he brings in Gengar as the other guy brings in Ho-Oh. So gets the Spore off on the Ho-Oh, which means it's not Magic Bounce. So this Gengar seems like it could be pretty threatening, unless he's got Dialga Magic Bounce to deal with it. But he brings in the Blazecon on the sleeping Ho-Oh. That's always a good move, and gets it in on T-Tar. That's pretty good. T-Tar gets the stand stream up. Zygarde comes in, and Blazecon just U-turns. Actually, I think this Blazecon set is actually pretty ineffective. It's okay, I guess, but setting up webs is not worth losing, having to switch out, because I'm pretty sure this is banded, because it's just the way he's playing. If he wasn't banded, he would be a lot more free to spam close combat and stuff like that. So or recreate. So setting up webs is just not a good idea, in my opinion. When your choice locked, it's different than setting up rocks, because you can actually punish switches with real damage, but sticky web isn't the same. So let's continue. So Yveltal and Ho-Oh, they're trying to wake up. This is good. Ho-Oh does wake up here and goes for the Thief. He defogs the webs, and Ho-Oh takes a bit from webs. This shows that it's probably Assault Vest, but we'll see here. Nope, it's not. It's Shore Up. Standard Shore Up. So I think this might be Unaware, actually. So this is fine. They're just going through the motions of shoring up and waiting for opening. And here's Magearna in on the Skull. Doesn't get burned, luckily. He subs. This is big. This is big. This is a big reveal here. Sub Magearna means that he can basically get anything in freely on this Celesteela. And Celesteela is kind of passive, even though it's got Scald, because it's not doing nearly enough. It doesn't even break Mage's sub, so Mage takes 23 or so, 21 to 24 from Scald, I think. So this sub is free. So he's going to shore up here. Celesteela feels pressured to Scald. He probably expected a switch, but it's fine now. He's just going to sub on the switch to Imposter. And Chansey BP's out as brings in Celesteela, probably trying to get that in on trying to get that back into Scald and break off the sub. But now T-Tar is in with a unbroken sub. Celesteela breaks it but loses its goggles. So it's not like the worst trade in the world. BlazeCon's in on the Dialga as he goes for Doom Desire. And he... How much damage did that take? 8%. That means it probably wasn't... it could have been Tinted Lens, I guess, but... I don't know. I don't think so. Here's Celesteela on Ho-Oh. And Dialga comes back in, goes for the Skull, doesn't get the burn. That would have really helped. Now, if you look at this Doom Desire damage, that's incredible amount of damage for unboosted. That shows it's Tinted Lens Doom Desire, making it a lot more dangerous for Volkner. So he's got to play around that now, probably by getting the Imposter in. But he actually doesn't really have anything to take this. Zygarde dies to a DD plus Core Enforcer. Oh wait, no, I mean Giratina dies to a DD plus Core Enforcer. And he's imposter proofed because he's got Ho-Oh to deal with that, I believe. Or maybe it's Magearna. It's Magearna, yeah. It's because that's why he's running sub Magearna, so he can block Doom Desire. So we'll see how he plays around this. So here it is. And unfortunately for Geo Volkner, he gets his BlazeCon in on the Z move and dies. Due to that was a very bad hit. So here's Gengar using Tail Glow. But he gets it in on the Prankster Zygarde. And Zygarde gets rid of that boost and puts it to sleep. So that's actually not too bad for PDT just because he has Ho-Oh now and Ho-Oh can't be put to sleep now and it can Spectral Thief that boost pretty easily. So the situation is not too bad for him right now. We wonder what that Gengar set is. It's Tail Glow. Almost certainly Judgment, just because like you want to be able to improve that with now it's a lot harder to improve with a Veltal now that we reveal Tail Glow, so it needs to be self-improved. So Chansey blanks the 1,000 Waves on the Ho-Oh. Dialga on Giratina. This is big. Turn 30, we reveal that the Dialga is faster than the Giratina, which makes total sense. Especially if this is like Prankster Giratina. Most of them run minimum speed. And now Giratina is going to trade its life for the Dialga, which is probably a good move, just because Geo Volkner doesn't have any Doom Desire switch-ins, so he needed to get rid of that thing. So that's gone. Chansey on T-Tar, he gets rid of it. And we see the Ho-Oh's running Shardy Berry, which doesn't really change much of anything in this matchup. Knocks it off. So that's our knockoff switch in. And now he brings in the Magearna on the Celesteela, taking a 24% Scald. Magearna subs up. I'm pretty sure this is Prankster Magearna, but I'm not quite exactly certain of that. But the way the speed tiers are working out, looks like it might be. So Mage is subbing. He gets Chansey in on a Moonblast, which is not bad. He BP's out into T-Tar, and Chansey just shores itself up. He's got to get out of the way now because he doesn't want to lose the Violite, so he brings in Celesteela to just take that knockoff. But no, this is big too. Setting up rocks here is huge for the rest of the game, because as you can see, a lot of his stuff doesn't have good recovery. For example, the Gengar doesn't want to be taking extra damage from rocks because it has to set up with Tail Glow in order to be threatening, and so you want to make sure it doesn't take as much extraneous damage as possible so it can actually take a hit when it needs to. The Yveltal takes 25% from Stealth Rock switching in, and the Celesteela doesn't have any passive recovery, so it takes 12.5% switching in. And Chansey is Imposter, and getting that, Imposter's really easy to wear down. So, especially since, like, the Mage has sub, and he's not going to bring in the Zygarde C because it's just sleeping and pretty much dead weight here except for sleep fodder. And I think that, and Ho-Oh is self-improve with Anchor Shot. So, there isn't that much that he can switch in on to recover an Imposter. So, let's continue. So, we're just, he's going to keep on setting up rocks here. The rocks reveal was pretty big. He's going to pressure this with knockoff, and finally Celesteela breaks his substitute. He gets out of the way. This is a free switch into Gengar, and Scald finally burns the Gengar. Pretty useless burning Gengar. He gets Yveltal in, and Gengar rose from Moongeist Beam. This takes 27%. This shows that it's Scarf Gengar, not Specs. Specs has like 40. Magearna takes a 16 Oblivion Wing, nothing too big from his Yveltal, and heals itself up. 59% Moonblast, which is huge. Turn 49, he gets out of the way. And Mage BP's out of there into Gengar. This is very threatening. Immediately threatening. Volt switches on the Celesteela for a big 55%. And the Celesteela gets his defog off, which is not very good. So Celesteela is very low now, and Gengar put in some nice work there, hurting, basically lured in the Yveltal. And then I guess that Volkner forgot that Magearna was running Moonblast, because I don't think I would have stayed in there. Because like it's not like it was running knockoff or anything like that. It just ran like, it had to heal itself up, but it could have done that when T-Tar came in or something like that. So I think that was just GL Volkner forgetting something. And then he also, PDT also got big damage on the Gengar, so this is good for him. He's in a nice position here. 19% Moonblast on the Gengar. He subs up as the Gengar Tail Glows, which is a good move. He's going to BP to T-Tar. Unfortunately, this is not enough. It still takes more than 25 from Judgment, so... And it takes 53. That's huge. I think that's got to be Tinted Lens Gengar, and he gets rid of the Spooky Plate and the Gengar. The Gengar is gone. And enemy Chansey gets Stealth Rock up on his side, but he realizes that he can't break through the rest of PDT's team, and PDT has the Gengar to keep on pressuring him, and it'll just pick off his mons one by one, especially after they run out of Recover PP. So that was pretty solidly played by PDT. GL Volkner did make a mistake, but his position was kind of tenuous the whole time because he didn't realize that Gengar was very threatening to his team, especially since his Yveltal wasn't a defensive set. You could see it was an offensive set because it was running like O-Wing and Heal Order, which might have been triage, but probably was I don't know. Whatever the set was, it didn't really do much work. But that was a pretty well-played game, and PDT, great teammate to have in OMPL, and I am very proud to see him continue to get some wins off of high reputation players. So that is all for this video.